Good morning, students. Hope all of you are doing well and be safe at home. So, welcome back to your chemistry class. All of you know that we have completed chapter 3 in chemistry. So, now we are going to start chapter 4. The name of chapter 4 is Pure and Mixed Substances. In this chapter, we are going to study pure substances, impure substances, that is mixture, and the different separation techniques. How we separate solid mixture, solid liquid mixture. So we study all the separation techniques in this chapter. So let's do it one by one. First we come to know what is pure substances. Pure substance is one which is made up of only one kind of molecules and it has definite composition and properties. So here 2 points is very important, that pure substance is made up of only one kind of molecules and pure substance has definite composition and properties. We can't split pure substance into simpler substances. We cannot separate pure substances by physical means. So these are important points about pure substances. Then we come to the properties of pure substance. It should have fixed melting and boiling point. It should have a definite specific gravity. It should have uniform composition like homogeneous mixture. Pure substances have uniform composition. It could be separated by chemical means only. We can't separate pure substances by physical method. If we want to separate pure substances, we have to apply chemical methods. So this point is very important, that we can separate pure substances by only chemical methods. So this is very important, keep it in the mind. Then the next topic is mixture. So mixture is also known as impure substances. So what is mixture? A mixture is formed when two or more substances are mixed together in any proportion such that they retain their individual properties and can be separated by physical means. So what is mixture? Mixture is a combination of two or more substances in any ratio or in any proportion. So there is no definite proportion of the components of mixture. If we want to make a mixture, we can take the components in any ratio. For example, if we want to the mixture of sand and salt, so we can take salt and sand in any amount. There is not fixed proportion. So, and the very important point is here that mixture can be separated by physical means. We can separate mixture by physical methods. So there are characteristics of mixture. The constituent of a mixture may be present in any proportion. Only physical change take place during the formation of a mixture. When we want to make a mixture, so only physical change is there. We can make the mixture physically. There is no chemical change take place. So it is very important point. In mixture, in formation of mixture, no chemical reaction take place. Then no energy change take place during the formation of mixture. The constituents of a mixture can be separated by physical means. So I have told you earlier that the constituents or components of a mixture can be separated by physical means. The mixture does not have a fixed melting and boiling point. As we have studied earlier that pure substances has a fixed melting and boiling point, but mixture does not have a fixed melting and boiling point. The next topic is types of mixture. So there are two types of mixture, homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. What is homogeneous mixture? A mixture in which its constituents are distributed uniformly, or we can say we can't see the constituent by our naked eye. So it is called homogeneous mixture. In heterogeneous mixture, constituents are not distributed uniformly, is called heterogeneous mixture. We can see the components by our naked eye. So you can understand it by the help of the example. What is the example of homogeneous mixture? Salt in water. If we dissolve salt in water, we can't see the constituents by our naked eye. We can see the solution. We can't see the salt by our naked eye. So this is a homogeneous mixture. And sand in water. If we dissolve sand in water, so what happened? We can see sand by our naked eye. That means we can see the constituent by our naked eye. So this is a heterogeneous mixture. So this is the property of homogeneous mixture, that salt completely dissolve. The constituents completely dissolve in homogeneous. Sand does not dissolve completely in heterogeneous. And components are not visible by naked eye. Components are visible by naked eye. So this is the major difference between homogeneous mixture and heterogeneous mixture. The next topic is separation of mixtures. How can we do the separation of mixture? So why we do the separation of mixture? We do separation of mixture to get a pure substance or to get a desirable substance. So most substances around us contain impurities. For example, the rice we buy has stone, sand and husk. Milkman usually mix water in milk. Kerosene is sometimes mixed with petrol to increase the profit. Air we breathe contain chemical fumes, smoke and dust particle. So most of the substance which we see around us contain some impurities. So we do separation to get the pure substance. Thus all substances have certain other substances mixed with them which necessitate the need of their removal. The constituent of a mixture should be separated. So why we separate the constituent of a mixture? To remove undesirable material from desirable material, removal of impure substance from pure substance, or to improve the quality of the substance. So there is a table you can see in this type of mixture and constituent of a mixture, like soil. What is the constituent of a soil? Clay, sand and various other salt. Soft drink. Soft drink is the mixture of water, sugar, carbon dioxide, flavors and colors. Seawater. Seawater is the mixture of salt dissolved in water. All of you know very well that we separate salt from seawater by the process of evaporation. So salt is dissolved in seawater. Milk. Milk is a mixture of carbohydrate, fat, protein and minerals in water. Smoke. Smoke is a mixture of carbon particles suspended in the air. So these are some example of mixture and these are the constituent of a mixture. You can see in the table. Then we come to the next topic, methods of separating mixture. What are the methods of separating mixture? First, method to separate a solid from solid mixture. When there is a mixture of solid means constituents are solid. So how can we separate this kind of mixture? The first method is winnowing. What is winnowing? It is a process used by farmers to separate grain from husk. Why we use winnowing? We use winnowing to separate grains from husk. This is very important. The farmers separate grain from husk by the process of winnowing. Principle: winnowing is based on fact that grains are heavier than husk. So this is the principle. Then method: the mixture of wheat and husk is made to fall from a height. Wind carries the husk with it and two separate heaps are obtained from husk and grain. So you can see in the diagram what is the procedure of winnowing. So you can see in this diagram the man made to fall from a height the mixture of wheat and husk. So grains and husk are separated from the wheat. You can see in the diagram and you can understand it very well. The next method is hand picking. This is very common method. All of you have seen this at your home. Our mothers doing this to separate stone from rice and pulses. So what is hand picking? It is a process in which undesirable components are removed from the desirable components manually. The principle: it is based on the fact that one of the components differ in shape, size or color. So it is very important when we use the method of hand picking, when the components differ in shape, size or color. So keep it in the mind. And what is the method? This method is used only when any one of the component is present in small quantities and differ in color, shape or size. So same thing is written here. So this point is very important, that the components are differ in shape, size or color. So, and one component present in smaller quantity. So we use the method of the hand picking. Example is stone in pulses. You can see in the diagram. All of you have seen your mother to do this. Yeah. So in this diagram you can see this is the method of hand picking. The next method is magnetic separation. You know when we use the magnetic separation? Yes, this method employed to separate the magnetic substance from the mixture. When there is a magnetic substance in the mixture, we use the method of magnetic separation. Principle: it is based on the property of a magnet to attract magnetic substance. So what is the principle? We know that magnet attract the magnetic substance. So it is based on this principle. Method: magnet is passed over the mixture containing iron. All the iron particles get clinged to the magnet and impurities are left behind. Example: iron from a mixture of iron and sulfur. You can see in the diagram. This is the method of magnetic separation. The next method is sieving. So this is also a very common and general method. All of you have seen this method also at your home. What is sieving? It is the process in which any mixture is passed through porous medium. The small components of the mixture pass through the sieve and bigger components are left on the sieves. So this is the method of sieving. What is the principle? It is based on the principle of filtration. So it is very important that sieving is the based on the principle of filtration, because in filtration the pure substance will come out. So in sieving there is also the pure substance will come out. Method: the mixture is taken on the sieve and given mechanical force. The smaller component pass through the sieve and bigger component are left. You can see in the diagram the girl is doing the sieving. So you can see this is the porous medium or the porous apparatus we can take, and the bigger components on the sieve and the smaller components pass from the sieve. So the example of sieving: tea leaves from tea and sieving of flour. So tea leaves from tea, we know. How can we separate tea leaves from tea? Filtration. So sieving is the based on the principle of filtration. The next method is sublimation method. It is very important method. What is sublimation? When solid directly changes into the vapor and vapor directly changes into the solid. So this process is known as sublimation. What is the principle of sublimation? It employs the principle of change of state by skipping the intermediate state. We know very well when solid changes into the vapor, so we skip the liquid state or intermediate state. So in the process of sublimation there is a skipping of intermediate state. It is very important point, always remember. And what is the method of sublimation? The mixture is taken in a sublimating dish and heated strongly until one component gets evaporated and condenses to form solid on the upper part of the sublimating flask. So you can see in the diagram, this is the method of sublimation. There is a china dish or sublimating dish, you can see. So we take the mixture in this sublimating dish and heat it strongly. So one component will evaporated and condenses to form solid on the upper part of the sublimating flask, like ammonium chloride sublimate. So here it is very important that sublimate undergoes the process of sublimation. So what are the sublimates which undergo the process of sublimation? Some example of sublimates are ammonium chloride, camphor, iodine. These all are the example of sublimate. So here we take ammonium chloride, which is sublimate, so which evaporate and collect on the upper part of the sublimating flask. So this is the process of the sublimation. You can understand it by this diagram. The next method is method to separate a liquid or a solid from liquid mixture. The first method is sedimentation. It is very important method. What is sedimentation? It is the process of settling down of heavy solid at the bottom. When heavy solid settle down at the bottom, we can say it is the process of sedimentation. You can understand it by the help of an example. In this diagram you can see we take muddy water in a beaker. We allow to stand it for some time. After some time we observe that sand settle down at the bottom of the beaker. So this process is known as sedimentation, and we pour the clear liquid into another beaker. So this process is known as decantation. So there is two process, sedimentation and decantation. Both are very important. When heavy components settle down at the bottom or base of the beaker, we can say it is sedimentation, and when we pour clear water into another beaker, so it is the process of decantation. So you can see here is the definition of the decantation: removal of the clear layer of the liquid without disturbing the settled solid is called decantation. So it is sedimentation and decantation. The next method is loading. So what is loading? Loading or coagulation. The process in which an external agent is added to bring the process of sedimentation is known as loading. So it is very simple. What is loading? When we add extra agent in the process of sedimentation, it is known as loading. Here is the example. If we separate muddy water without taking the help of any agent, so it is called the sedimentation. And if there is a agent which help in the process of sedimentation, so this is loading or coagulation. You can see muddy water, so alum is the external agent here. Then we do the process of impurities plus alum settle down and clear water. So we can do the process of sedimentation and decantation by the help of an external agent. So it is known as loading or coagulation. This process is carried out when the volume of water to be purified is large. When we use this method, when we have to purify the volume of water in large, so we use this method. The next method is filtration. It is very common method. All of you know that. The process in which insoluble component is removed from the liquid mixture is known as filtration. So what is filtration? When insoluble component removed from the liquid, we call this process filtration. So here is the example. We can take mixture, water plus silver chloride, and we filter. So silver chloride remains on the filter paper and water pass down a filtrate. So we can separate the mixture of water and silver chloride with the help of filtration. You know there is a filter paper, so with the help of filter paper we can separate the mixture. The clear liquid obtained from the suspension of an insoluble solid and liquid is the process of filtration is known as filtrate, and the solid particles left on the filter paper after the filtration is called residue. So these two are very important point, filtrate and residue. The clear liquid obtained from the filtration is known as filtrate, and the solid part which is left on the filter paper is known as residue. So remember this is very important point, filtrate and residue. The next method is flotation. So this is very simple method. It is the process by which we can remove insoluble lighter solid from the liquid solid mixture by this process. So what is flotation? When there is a lighter substance on liquid, so we can separate by the process of flotation, like sawdust and water. You can see in the example. So here is the diagram. You can see in the diagram sawdust and water. So sawdust is lighter than water and it is floating on the surface. So in this method we can separate the lighter components. If any lighter component dissolve in water, so we can separate by the process of flotation. So this is the example of flotation, sawdust and water. The next method is centrifugation. What is centrifugation? Centrifugation is a method for separating the fine suspended particle of a substance in a liquid by rotating the liquid in a closed container. The machine used in laboratory for centrifugation is called centrifuge. So here you can see the diagram, the machine of the centrifugation. We call it centrifuge. The machine which we use in the process of centrifugation, we call it centrifuge. So this process is also very common. We can separate the suspended particle of the substance in a liquid by rotating the liquid in a closed container. So in your home, all of you seen the blender. So the blender is also working on the method of centrifugation. Example of centrifugation is churning of milk to separate cream. So this is the example of centrifugation, and one point is remember here that the machine which we use in the process of centrifugation, we call it centrifuge. The next method is evaporation. What is evaporation? The process in which a liquid changes into the vapor state on gentle heating is known as evaporation. Simply, when liquid state change into the vapor state, we call it evaporation. This process is used to separate those mixture in which one of component is non-volatile. The separation of water and common salt is done by this method. So here one point is very important. We use this method to separate those components in which one have non-volatile. If we take the mixture, so one component should be non-volatile. So we can separate the mixture by the process of evaporation. For example, common salt and water. So we can separate common salt and water by the process of evaporation. So in this diagram you can see the process of evaporation. We can take sand bath and china dish. In china dish we take water and salt. If we heat the solution, so evaporation is going on and we separate common salt and water. The next method is distillation. What is distillation? It is the process of obtaining pure liquid from a solution when two liquids differ abruptly in their boiling points. So when we use this method, when two liquids differ in their boiling points, we use the process of distillation. So you can see in the diagram, there is a distillation flask. So you can see in the diagram, when the liquids are differ in their boiling points, we can use the process of distillation. And by using separating funnel, when we use separating funnel, when two liquids are immiscible. So this point is very important. When two liquids are immiscible with each other, we use separating funnel. For example, water and kerosene. We know water and kerosene are not soluble in each other, so we can separate it by separating funnel. This is the diagram of separating funnel. You can see kerosene oil and water. So what happened in separating funnel? The lighter component takes the upper layer of the funnel and the heavier component take the lower layer of the funnel. You can see in the diagram very well. Then next method is chromatography method. Chromatography is a technique used to separate the constituents by using an adsorbing paper like Whatman filter paper. So there is a adsorbing paper in chromatography. So with the help of adsorbing paper, we separate mixture, colored mixtures. By chromatography, we separate the colored mixture from this method. The next topic is, if we want to separate a mixture of sand, sawdust, salt and iron filling, sulfur and common salt. So how we do this? So there is a flow chart. Like you have a mixture of sand, sawdust and salt. So first step, what is the first step? Dissolve in water and filter. So first we do the filtration. Sand and sawdust will be the residue and salty water is filtrate. So we evaporate to dryness and we can separate the salt. Here in residue we have sand and sawdust. So we dissolve in water and keep it for some time. Sawdust. So which process we can separate sawdust? By the process of decantation. And sand will be left behind. Then iron filling, sulfur and common salt. we pass magnet, so iron filings can be separated by the magnet. And sulfur and common salt dissolve in water, sulfur will be the residue and common salt in the filtrate. So we do the evaporation and we can separate the common salt. So this is the flow chart. How can we separate sand, sawdust, salt, sulfur and common salt? So these all things how can be separated? So we do it by step. So this is the flow chart. So in this flow chart, or by the help of this flow chart, you can understand if you have the mixture, how can you separate the mixture. If there is any magnetic substance, so you can do magnetic separation. If there is lighter substance, so you can do flotation. So there are different separation techniques which we have studied earlier. So by the quality of the component, you can separate the components by separation techniques. So students, here we completed this chapter. So go through this chapter carefully and try to learn the new concept and terms which we use in this chapter. And do your work on time. Focus on your studies. Thank you. Have a nice day. Take care.